Hallelujah. When we look into the life of David, when he was running away from his son Absalom, we read of an instance in 2 Samuel chapter 16 where a man named Shimei meets with David, and see what happens at that place. In 2 Samuel chapter 16 verse 5 onwards, it reads, when David came to Bahurim, there came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. And as he came, he cursed continually. That means Shimei is cursing David. Verse 6, he threw stones at David and at all the servants of King David. And all the people and all mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And Shimei said as he cursed, get out, you man of blood, you worthless man. Now Shimei is speaking these words to David. The Lord avenged on you all the blood of the house of Saul. Now we see here, Shimei is cursing David, throwing stones at David and his men, beginning to speak that God has cursed you, God has avenged you. And look at the reaction of David. When the soldiers, servants of David, came to David and told him, let's take vengeance. Let's see there, it says there, then Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, said to the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over and take off his head. You see, being king, David could have sent his servant and just cut off his head. But David did not do it. You see, David was secure in God. David's mind was, if it is the will of God, let it be so. But he did not want to go and prove himself, because he knew his position, his honor was all safe in the hands of God. You know, when ego gets to us, when we hear people mocking us, speaking words against us, gossiping about us, defaming us, our ego gets hurt, right? We begin to feel we need to prove ourselves. But David did not have to prove himself. He knew one thing was, he was safe and secure in God. And two was, it was being in the will of God that was more important than to satisfy his ego. We see what David says there when we read in 2 Samuel 16 verse 10. It says, but the king said, what have I to do with you, you sons of Zeruiah? If he is cursing because the Lord has said to him, curse David, who then shall say, why have you done so? So here David is saying, if it is the will of God, let it be done. He is not interested in protecting his name, fame, his position, his ego. And secondly, he is not interested in preserving his honor. He knew his honor came from God. I want to encourage you today. You know, we don't need to go out and prove ourselves to people. You don't need to prove yourself to the one who's cursing behind your back or maybe defaming you. You just need to put it into the hands of God, because at the right time, God brings justice. Let us know that our honor, our position, our name comes from God. And if God preserves us, if God honors us, that's what is more important. We are safe in God. Not just there. We don't need to prove or fight for our ego or fight for our name. We just need to live in the will of God. And whatever is due to us will come back to us. David was restored back as king. He was restored to his position because he was safe in his God. What about you? Are you safe and secure in God, or do you want to prove yourself to the world? Times will come when people will stand against you. Times will come when people will speak against you. When people will curse you, mock you, take advantage of you. What would you do at that time? Would you put it before God and trust that God will do all things well? Would you trust that your name, fame, honor would be restored by God and God alone? Or would you go out to prove yourself? David did not go to prove himself. He trusted God. God bless you.